think about how much has changed in the last couple of years. The way we have shopped, how we bank today, how we study, and even how we work, the kind of model and the workforce that we have today. And in this digital world, everything has become more faster, it's more connected, and people are becoming more intelligent along with the infrastructure than ever before. And I would say at the heart of this transformation lies one simple yet powerful enabler, the network. And today, with the Ruckus Networks expert and the organization, we'll explore how this next generation of wireless technologies like Wi Fi 7, AI driven insights, and cloud managed platforms are redefining what's possible across the vertical, be it manufacturing, education, logistics, and beyond. And I think that's the key crux of the webinar today. And I think it's already 3:05, and let's kick off this webinar. So, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. It's a pleasure to have all of you over here. And today's webinar is all about smarter, faster, connected, and AI-driven smart network, and specifically for education sector as a vertical. I am Prateek Tokas. I'm the Chief Knowledge Officer at Strateging, and I'm delighted to have all of you with us as we explore the smarter, faster, connected, AI driven smart network specifically for education as a vertical. And let me just pull up my screen and share with you a couple of slides before I invite the subject matter expert today. Yep. So, as we begin to set up the expectations and to assess the overall vertical education, you'll see there are some numbers that there on this slide highlighted in orange. India, as we all are aware, it has the largest population. We are ahead of China now, and within this population, if you look at the count of people or the population who are students, who are either in school or they're at the college or universities, that account for 580 million. And I think that is a huge opportunity for the education sector. And it's just not about this percentage. I would focus on the way the count of colleges have increased in India in the last 1 decade. And even the universities, the numbers are there that how we have progressed with a milestone of 5 years gap. So these numbers are just not telling a powerful story. It also emphasizes that nowhere else in the world do you see such large youth population stepping into the classroom and universities at the same time. And for India, this isn't about just scale. It is about shaping the future workforce for a global economy. And today, if I talk about India, we are there as the fourth largest, or I would rephrase, it's the fourth strongest economy across the globe. So this growth is also attributed to education sector, which is signaling both opportunity as well as urgency. Institutions must prepare to serve millions of learners with the same standard of excellence supported by infrastructure that can scale as fast as the demand. And before I move ahead with my slides, I would like you all to remember the way our classrooms once looked like when we were in school or college. The library shelves, they were stacked with high books. There were long queues at the fee counter where we used to deposit the fees. And if you recall, we had a blackboard. Nowadays, there's a whiteboard in the classroom. We had a blackboard with a chalk and duster that carried the weight of every lesson. And this is how somewhat it looked like. Maybe I'm getting more into the nostalgic factor, but that's what it was. And do you remember the kind of demonstrations that we used to have in the class where a simple transparent film on an overhead projector brought the life autonomy of human body? For example, if I what I can recall right now, and there were really complex diagrams, and a teacher used to just swipe between those films and showcase those details. Those experiences really shade our learning journey, and while they may feel distant today, they also remind us how far education has come and how much further it can go when supported by the right infrastructure. Cut to today. This is how the classrooms have expanded themselves. They are no more confined between the four walls of the classroom. A student is able to access a lecture while sitting under a tree on a campus, in an open field, in their cafeteria, in their dorm room. The boundaries of space have dissolved. And the access to knowledge too is no longer limited to the shelves of library with those really thick, limited count of books. It now flows seamlessly across digital platforms available at the click of a button. Education has become mobile, it's fluid, and it's ever present across the entire campus. And I think that's the modern experience that classroom is providing. The classrooms are equipped with smart boards. They are connected to devices, administrative workflows, the exams, the way we deposit the fees today, the payments, how they capture the attendance of students, the faculty members. It's entirely digital. The hostels and the libraries, they demand a 24 by 7 access to online resources. And even security and access control are network enabled. So I think it is fair enough to say that, universities today are running on connectivity. And the expectations are also changing from all the stakeholders. If I talk about students, they expect a seamless high speed Wi Fi across campus during their lecture, whether they are in cafeteria or in their hostels. Same goes for faculty. Faculty expects a very stable, secure platform to deliver interactive sessions, the way they are giving out the knowledge to the students. And same goes for administrative aspects, that the IT system should be efficient, it should be scalable and reliable. And the network sits at the center of all these three critical expectations. With this digital shift also comes along the complexities. The lecture halls can actually face high density traffic, hundreds of devices being connected simultaneously, covering the gaps in sprawling campus affect student experience as well. And now we also have cyber attacks which are targeting the research database, the student databases. That also needs to be taken care of. And a weak network can stall this entire mission of education. So, network is no longer an invisible utility. It's the digital backbone of every college, every university, every school. Every interaction, whether we are having in a smart classroom session to accessing something from the research library to managing campus safety, depends entirely on the reliability of network. So when the network is strong, the campus thrives, and when it falters, everything slows down. So I think it would be fair enough to say that nowadays it's just not academics which plays a key factor in evaluating how universities are performing. It also depends on the quality of digital experience that they deliver for students, for faculty, to administrators alike. The network is the foundation that powers learning, collaboration, and innovation. And to build the campus of tomorrow, we must first build a very smart, fast, and connected network. And I think with this, I would like to move ahead with the key section of the webinar, where I would like to invite, and it's a pleasure to invite the subject matter expert, Mr. Rakesh Jain, who's the Senior System Engineer at Ruckus Network. So he would be going through or helping us go through the deeper into the nuances of building the smart, fast, and connected network. And I saw a couple of hands being raised. It would be a request from my side. In case if you have any question, there there's a tab which says Q&A. Please drop your questions in that tab, and we'll definitely pick up the questions from there and answer all of them to the best of our capacity. So, warm welcome, Ragesh.
Yeah, thank you, Pratik, for setting up the agenda. Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to this wonderful webinar. Thank you very much for sparing your time and coming to attend this webinar. Thank you. So we are going to learn about how we can build a resilient and smart campus network with the help of latest wireless and latest AI ML techniques what we have, and how we can make the better utilization of the technologies which are available to us. So this will be the overall agenda for today's webinar. We will be going to learn about Wi-Fi 7, which is the next generation of wireless. We call it as how it is different from Wi-Fi 6, 6E, and how we can make benefit of these new features or standard into our practical use cases, how it can be useful for your dormitory or your classrooms, how we can make the connectivity better for our students. We will also learn about what are the solution available to have centralized management. Suppose you have multiple campuses across different regions, and how you can manage all your campus by having the centralized management. You can have a single SSID to all the locations, and how still you can manage the network. So this is all we will also learn about, and how this AI or ML solutions can help you to reduce the IT tickets, better improving the network operations. And then in the last, we will look at some of the smart campus deployment, which we have done recently in India and outside India. And after the session, definitely, as Pratik mentioned, we will be taking out the question answer. So as we all know, campus network is not the network it was before. As Pratik has mentioned in her presentation, that we used to have a standard classroom, but now the students can be anywhere in the campus and they need to have internet access to access various applications. Especially after the COVID era, the things has been changed drastically. Now we are talking about more of a video calls. Everyone is working on Zoom or team call. You need to have online assessment. You want to access the lecture from your hostel, or maybe from the library or the cafeteria. And we need to have integration of your IoT, IP surveillance network, smart lighting is also there. So these all applications need to be integrated, and there is a demand for roaming and security of the network. And now we have the technology like we are talking about Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, PoE++ standards are there to take the Ethernet power on the Ethernet to the longer distances, and very high voltage you can carry on the Ethernet. And then we have the cloud solution also. We have 40G, 100G kind of solutions available. So in the coming slides, we will look at how we can overcome all these challenges with the help of latest solution and technology. So this is the need of the hour. We have different type of requirement or application which needs to be take care by today's network. There can be data over Wi-Fi, data over wired network. There are different type of cabling are there in your campus. We need to have voice as an application which should be supported on the network. We have video application. We have the need to have IoT in our campus. So there is a strong need to have a converged network which is not only reliable and secure enough, and instead of having multiple separate network, we should have a common network which will be easy to manage and administer by serving all the applications simultaneously. So this is what we are looking at to achieve the smart campus. So coming to our first topic of the day is Wi-Fi 7. So let's get into Wi-Fi 7. What is this technology and how it is different from the existing one? So we all know we started Wi-Fi with the help of 802.11a and B standard way back in 1919 with just 2 Mbps speed. which reaches to 11 Mbps and 54 Mbps. And now we have this Wi-Fi generation 4. So before this, we used to have main focus only on to provide the coverage so that we can have the roaming, because all the devices like your laptop or desktop PC have the Ethernet port. But now we are not talking, we do not have Ethernet port on any of the device. We are roaming everywhere in the campus. So we are mainly focused on improving the data rate of the user and making the wireless connection reliable. So now we have Wi-Fi 6, and now we are talking about Wi-Fi 7, which is extremely high throughput standard. So how we can achieve or increase the throughput in Wi-Fi 7? Let's look at it. So this is a brief comparison between all the standards. Like there are three columns. In the first column, you can see we have Wi-Fi 6, which was launched in September 2020. It can work on two radios, which is 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radio. And then we have 6E, which can spread across 6 gigahertz. So if you look at the technologies which are common for Wi-Fi 6 and 6E, the only difference is Wi-Fi 6E can work in 6 gigahertz and rest of the things are same. Whether if you talk about special streams, modulation, channel bandwidth, and the physical rate, there is no change in any of the technology. So moreover, it is same. So the time 6E came into the existence, it was the time of COVID. So it did not get popular. At the same time, Wi-Fi 7 came into the picture, which can support not only 2.4, and it can also support 6 gigahertz. And if we look at the other technologies which we are using in Wi-Fi 7, we are increasing the special streams from 8 cross 8 to 16 cross 16. We are increasing the modulation 4 times as compared to the Wi-Fi 6. Channel bandwidth is also doubled, and we can achieve a data rate of 46 Gbps. As per the standard, this is the maximum limit of data rate we can have on Wi-Fi 7. And the physical rate, which is practically possible, is 9.6 Gbps. So these are the parameters which you can see are really revolutionary as compared to Wi-Fi 6. These are going to definitely make a change in our network and how we are building our network today on Wi-Fi. So this will be a prominent standard in the coming years. So what are the key features or changes we are taking from the Wi-Fi 6 apart from the feature we have seen? First and foremost is we are talking about extremely high throughput. So how we are increasing the throughput? What are the technologies we are using? We are changing the encapsulation from Wi-Fi 6 to Wi-Fi 7 by increasing 10242 to 4096 QM. We are increasing the special streams, and we are making the channel bandwidth double. So we are sending the more data over the air channel interface as compared to the Wi-Fi 6. So we have more throughput. And then the second feature is punctured transmission. So in case of legacy or Wi-Fi 6 devices, in case there is a channel bonding you are using, like we are doubling the channel, we are making 240 megahertz as 80 megahertz, or you are making 280 megahertz as 160 megahertz. In case there is an interference in any narrow band, so what used to happen in Wi-Fi 6, it will drop the entire channel. But in Wi-Fi 7, this feature has been improved. What we do is, if there is an interference in the narrow band, we can just drop out or slice out that particular channel, and rest of the channel still can be used. So for example, in case of 80 megahertz channel bonding, if there is an interference in 20 megahertz, so rest of the 60 megahertz channel still can be used. Whereas this was not possible in Wi-Fi 6. So thus we are improving the throughput in Wi-Fi 7. So this is a major change which is there from Wi-Fi 6. And then we have something called as multi-link operation. This has been dream for all the wireless engineers from a long time. This you can compare with the link aggregation feature which we have in switches. Between the two switches, we link aggregate two ports. It can be 10 Gbps or 1 Gbps. The similar feature has been introduced in Wi-Fi 7. So when there is a client which is Wi-Fi 7 capable, and there is access point which can support Wi-Fi 7, so both these devices can work on multiple modes simultaneously. It can support 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz band. simultaneously. So you can have link redundancy. Suppose there is an interference on 6 gigahertz, still the client can work on 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. Or if all the bands are good to go, it can do the link aggregation. So you have the better data rate, and the client can also do a link selection. Suppose there is an interference in 5 or 6 or maybe 2.4 gigahertz. So client is intelligent enough to decide which link or which band they have to send the data. So that feature is also available. So this feature is going to change our life. But yes, this feature is again dependent on the client. Client should also support Wi-Fi 7 features. Then we have something called as enhanced quality of service. So in the previous standard, we have make a lot of effort to implement the quality of service over the wireless. But as we all know, it is a carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance method where only one device can send a data on the wireless media and other have to wait. So practically it was not possible, but by improving the target wait time, which was the feature of Wi-Fi 6, but it was not used much. But the same feature has been improved in Wi-Fi 7. Uh, so when we are deciding that this machine is going to be in sleep mode, at the same time, what we are doing is we are reserving the channel. Once the machine will woke up, it has already decided the channel on which it will start sending the data. Whereas earlier it has to wait for the opportunity when the wireless media is free and it can send the data. But now, because we are reserving the channel, so the client already know on which channel it has to send the data, and this information is already has an agreement with the access point. So that channel will be available for the client to send the data. So this kind of feature are definitely going to improve our network when you are going to deploy the Wi-Fi 7 in your network. So now, if I ask you how we can achieve 5 Gbps and how we can support 100 plus devices in a classroom, or how we can connect our 4K content or smart boards in any classroom and we can achieve higher data rate. So I hope by the answer. Had in Wi-Fi improve the data rate.
I think there was a network glitch, and Rakesh, it seems you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Just a minute, let me reshare it.
Sure. And while you are
Yeah,
resharing, Rakesh, just a quick
yeah,
question. So I understand Wi-Fi 7 is already there in the market, right?
yeah. Yeah, it is
Okay.
already there. Yeah, it is already there.
Okay.
So now the second question comes, how we can eliminate the interference. So the introduction of 6 gigahertz will definitely help us to reduce the interference we have in wireless network. So the answer is we have more spectrum available. In 6 gigahertz, you have 12 megahertz spectrum, which is larger than the available bandwidth we have in 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So in case of 2.4 gigahertz, we all know we have three non-overlapping channels. In 5 gigahertz, we have 24, 25 non-overlapping channels. And with the introduction of 6 megahertz, you will have 60 channels, which will be available for you to. So this is very high numbers as compared to 2.4 gigahertz for the legacy devices like your IoT devices or your IP cameras, which are there on the wireless. So we can dedicate 2.4 gigahertz for those devices. So the newer clients, which can support Wi-Fi 6E or Wi-Fi 7, they can connect on 6 gigahertz radio where we do not have the interference. So they can get maximum advantage of 6 gigahertz band. And they will also have lower latency and high availability because there will be no interference in 6 gigahertz spectrum. So it is time to have some questions. So Pratik, can you help me to poll
Sure.
questions?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
thank you.
So, to all our attendees, just a quick poll to understand your perspective when you are thinking of this new phase of infrastructure in network. So, there are two questions. If that would be great if you provide your responses. It's just quick tick responses. The first is how you would like to describe your current campus network setup. Just a single response would be required for that. And then there is that which of these in your institution's top priority for future network upgrades? So these are two questions just to understand your perspective, your requirements, and assessment of network within your campus setup. And as our attendees are providing a response, a quick question, Rakesh, for you.
Yeah,
As you
yeah,
had
please.
shared that how Wi-Fi 7 is there. So
Mhm.
what would be the key strategies that institutions should adopt to transition to Wi-Fi 7 while ensuring optimal performance and continued utilization of the existing wireless devices?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and I think everyone would have there in mind this question. There is no need to replace all your Wi-Fi 6 AP. So what we can do is we can have a mix of Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7. So as I mentioned, uh, right now, Government of India have not make the 6 gigahertz available or make the commercial users free for 6 gigahertz band. So in the transition time, what we can make is we can have a mix. We can have some areas which are on Wi-Fi 6, as there are all the clients are not support Wi-Fi 7. So the newer clients like iPhone 17 or the newer laptop you are having or MacBook which support Wi-Fi 7. So you can have all the new devices on Wi-Fi 7 and rest of the devices can be on Wi-Fi 6. And as this is a standard for any of the wireless standard, like we came up with the Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 is also, Wi-Fi 7 is also backward compatible. Suppose if there is a client
Okay.
which is Wi-Fi 5 capable or Wi-Fi 6 capable, that can also work on Wi-Fi 7, and we can improve the performance of that clients also, because Wi-Fi 7 have the capability to work reliably with the older clients. So there is no
Okay.
challenge in having the integration with the old and new technology. So it is all backward compatible.
Okay, that is great because there were a couple of questions around it, and I recall there were a couple of questions. Our attending delegates who were concerned about the kind of refresh of devices that they need to undergo when they are planning to transition to Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah, right. Right.
So I think this answer from Rakesh pretty much answers this, that you need not go for a complete refresh. And we have the results of the poll also now, Rakesh. And
Yeah,
well, we see half of the institutes are there with the legacy, and that's a big
legacy. Correct.
opportunity, I would say, because while we are working on the legacy one and there are new technologies which are being launched, I think this is the correct time to move on and upgrade to Wi-Fi 7 directly rather than going in a phase manner from 6, 6E and then to 7. And I see already almost one-tenth of the institutes and our attending delegates are exploring and piloting with Wi-Fi 7. So that's great. And in terms of their top priority for future network, they are clearly more motivated that how it can support their connected devices without a performance drop. And I think performance is a key issue
Yeah,
because nobody wants a latency or a drop of the network when they're talking about the connected devices. And now I think the count of connected devices have also increased with bring your own device kind of culture in the colleges and institutions. And also there are so many IoT devices now within the campus itself. So
yeah,
that's amazing to see the kind of cultural and the technical shift that institutes in India are going through.
yeah, definitely, Pratik. So these all points has been taken care by WFA while developing the Wi-Fi 7 with the help of everyone. And the point which I wanted to highlight here is Ruckus Wi-Fi 7 devices has been there on the test bed of Wi-Fi Alliance, which means for you, any device which is from any third party vendor, be it a client. So it is very important to have the interoperation with any of the device. So because our devices were there on the test bed, so any device which is coming with the Wi-Fi 7 capability, it will be having the make sure it is interoperable with this. So this is a good point to have. So our devices are interoperable with any of the clients which will be there in the market.
Great. And before we move to the next section of your
Yeah.
presentation, Rakesh, one quick question because that is one what we had received.
Mhm.
How would you compare the security risk when we are talking of Wi-Fi 7 as compared to the older versions?
Yeah. So in Wi-Fi 6, actually, we have WPA2 and WPA3 to encrypt the packet when we are sending the packet over the air. So it was the major concern. So we have never enforced that Wi-Fi 2, WPA2 is obsolete and you have to use only WPA3. But yes, most of the people are still using WPA2, but we recommend to use WPA3. Although you have a lot of new features in security, like instead of having, suppose you have in network multiple SSIDs you are creating in the network. So in Wi-Fi 6, there will be a MAC address per SSID, which used to be negotiating between the AP and the client. But now with the introduction of Wi-Fi 7, we have a group MAC address, which will be a higher MAC address, which can be common for multiple SSID. So this will also improve the security when you are encrypting the packet over the air. And yes, we recommend you to use WPA3, and we have simultaneous access encryption also, which will largely take care of the security part. So in nutshell, we can say security is also improved with the Wi-Fi 7.
That is great because
Yeah.
definitely with the growing cybersecurity attacks and
Yeah.
how cyber adversaries are using network as a sweet spot, this is definitely one key point of assurance when we are moving to Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead, Rakesh.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Let's move to our next section. So it is about the management. Like there are many educational institutes. We have large campus across India, and we need to manage all of them from a central point of view. So looking at this requirement, we have come up with the cloud-based solution, which is a Ruckus One. Why we call it as Ruckus One? Because it provides you a unified management platform, be it your wired network, wireless network, or IoT network, or your AAA server solution. Everything can be managed from one platform. So this is what we are saying here. You can have device management control. You can apply your policy and security policies from one place. You can have network assurance and multiple type of services. Everything can be available from one platform. So in the coming slide, we will look at how we are managing this. So this is the dashboard which you will get in Ruckus One. So this is a unified dashboard. As I mentioned, in this you can see these are the number of sites, like it is showing 800 number of sites are visible on one dashboard. How many devices are there? It can be your Wi-Fi device or your number of switches or your IoT devices. And then we can also have the number of clients and the type of clients. 621 wireless clients, 184 wired clients, and 300 plus IoT devices, which are available in the network. So as an administrator, by looking at the dashboard, you will have the complete picture of your network. And you can also look at the what are the incidents happening in my network, so you can know the health of about your network. So this AI solution or Ruckus One solution will help you to prioritize all those tasks into different categories, whether the ticket is related to P1 where you need to pay more attention, P2, P3, P4. P3, P4 are kind of warnings, but yes, if there is an incident related to P1 or P2, you should pay attention to that because it is a major incident. So how we categorize is what is the portion of the network which is impacted because of this solution. So we will also look at how this is, we can look at this in the coming slides. So this is a very key feature to have as an administrator. Then you can have some key parameters indexes. Based on this, we can score the performance of the site, how my network is behaving. So these parameters can be related to your connection success, time to connect, the client taken by a client to coming on your wireless network, what is the typical client throughput, and how many APs are online. at that particular site. So all these parameters can be defined. It is all customizable. Based on your requirement, we can define this SLAs, and then it will show you the indicators in the dashboard. So it will be very handy for as an administrator to look at you can have from the records. If there is an update, you can just schedule them from the central location. You can do the switch management also. If there is an application library, you have WIPs or some other uh, library which needs to be updated, everything can be done here. So this is dashboard where you want to have a centralized report about your complete network health. So you can see what is the total traffic, what are the application in my network, what are the top clients by traffic, what are the top APs or what are the top WLAN networks, what are the applications mostly used in my network. So everything can be customized and we can customize the dashboard for your needs. So by having this report, you can have the complete visibility about your network, how your network is performing. And you can just take the printout or you can just export it in PDF format and you can submit it to your management also if needed. So this can be very handy for you. So coming to our main part of this, how AI or ML techniques can help us to better maintain our network on day-to-day basis. So these are the some things which we look at as an administrator or as wireless engineer should be there in my network. So I should be able to recognize before the issue became a critical issue. So I should have the information. Suppose for any network switch, the CPU utilization is going higher or the temperature is going higher. If any AP is going to have a lot of interferences, so I should get a notification in hand so that I can work proactively. So I hope everyone is having NMS, or maybe we used to have NMS in older days where we rely on the network devices to send the SNMP traps. So which are on periodic basis, maybe 5 minute or 10-minute interval. So these were not real time. But now with the help of AI or ML, we can have the real time update from the network. So you can prioritize the task or the incident in P1, P2, P3 categories. So you can pay your attention to the critical issues first and how you can fix the issues fast. This is also one of the main feature which we expect from the AI to help us. And also if there is a issue, it should tell me what is the probable root cause and how can I solve this. So it can give me the steps by implementing these 4 steps. Maybe this can resolve the issue. So that is also possible. And then because we have a large network, we have hundreds or thousands of access points. So there is a possibility to have interference in the network. So as an administrator, it is very difficult to go to each and every area or access point to make those changes. So how AI can help us on this? So we will also look at that point as well. So coming to the incident, so this is how you will get all the incident at one place. So based on the criticality, it will be categorized in P1, P2, P3 categories like this. It can be related to your PoE, it can be related to your wireless or your performance. So by clicking on this, any incident, you will have the root cause analysis. What makes this incident happen? What is the root cause of this issue? And what are the probable actions which we can take to resolve this ticket? So this is about network insurance. By looking at the screen, you can have the visibility of your network. So you can have it for wired or wireless network. Like in this wireless, you have the visibility of how many successful connections are there from your wireless clients on your network, how many failed connections, and what is the typical connection ratio of my clients getting to the wireless network, and what is the average time to connect. So the rest of the parameters which I say shown in the dashboard, so these will be there in the bottom, which are customizable. These are the different SLA which we can set as per our need. So based on this, it will show you the result here. So suppose if I want to do a troubleshooting for any incident, like why these connection failures are there in my network. So it will show you the type of failures. So it can be your authentication failure, which is related to your .1x or AAA server, or it can be related to your DHCP failure. So here in this case, we are seeing almost 70% DHCP failure are there in the network. So if you want to further troubleshoot this, you can click on DHCP failure. So it will again pop up one more window. So it will show you the list of wireless network which are impacted because of this particular issue. So on the right hand side, it is showing you the clients which are impacted because of that particular issue. If I click on that particular client which I want to troubleshoot, I can have the complete detail related to that particular client. What are the reasons for that client is not able to connect on my network, or why the failures are there with this particular client. So on the right hand side, you have the complete history about the client, what time they are connected, how much time they have been on the network. So everything is available here. And then on the left hand side, you have four pillars which are categorized here to show the failure reason. It can be due to the connection. It can be due to the roaming issue. If the client is moving from one location to other location within campus or outside campus, then connection quality incident. If you click on any failure, which are shown here as red dot, it will give you the packet handshake detail. What the packet which was exchanged between your client and the AP, or where it is getting failure. Like in this case, for DHCP server, we are not getting the response from DHCP server. So the reason could be the scope is full, the DHCP server is busy, his no, server is not able to take new requests. So reason can be anything. Because it is related to wireless, the user may complain that wireless is not working, but user is able to connect to the wireless, but because of the DHCP failure, they are not able to get the internet. So this will make your life easy to troubleshoot your network on the live network. So apart from this, what we are doing is we are making a virtual replica of your entire network. We are treating this switch and AP as a virtual node. And by having this, whenever you make any changes in the network, so we have this option which you can do the comparison at which particular date, what was the configuration, and now after you can just compare these two changes. Like we have the tab which are scrollable. We can just define the timeline from this date to this date. I want to compare the configuration. After making this particular configuration, what is the impact on my network? So it will show you what is the connection rate has been improved or decreased, what is the time to connect. All these parameters can be seen are decreased or increased. So suppose if there is a decrease, so you can revert back to your old configuration. If it is improving, then maybe you can decide to continue with the changes. So this can be really helpful in your real network. So then the next part is radio resource management, which help you to reduce the co-channel interference which is there in your network. So there are two pictures in this. On the left hand side, you can see there are a lot of red dots in the picture, which are depicting as interfering links. And in the right side, there is no red dot. It means by implementing this RRM feature, we have reduced this interfering link to zero. How we are reducing the interference to zero? We are working on three parts. We are changing the RF channel number. We are changing the channel bandwidth, maybe from 80 to 40 to 80 or 80 to 40 or 160, depending upon the environment and client type which is there in the network. And then we are also working on the AP transmit power. So suppose there is a co-channel interference, maybe if we can reduce the transmit power, so this can be improved. So this will be done automatically by the AI engine. So this will largely help you to improve the total number of users which are connecting to an AP. It will also help you to improve the client throughput. We can have the better utilization of the AS, reliable wireless better ROI for any education institute. So this is a very must to have feature we should have in our network. So there is something as in environment, we want to reduce the carbon footprint, we want to reduce the power consumption. So what we can do is we can schedule this feature to reduce the power. Suppose we know this is our normal working hours, and after the working hours, we can uh, program or we can schedule this uh, policy so that our access point will go in the sleep mode so that we can save the power. So this can be configured for particular zone or particular APs. Suppose there are some critical APs which we can't make them in sleep mode. So we can just decide or configure that these particular AP should go in sleep mode. Rest of the AP will be awake all the time. So that is configurable option here. And after implementing this, it will give you the result. Like on the left hand side, you have this when the APs are power on, and the right hand side, which are the APs which were in sleep mode, and the red one were working in the full power. So overall, what is the save cost you have saved over the year or over a month, so that we can calculate. So this can be configured. Like in this case, we have taken US dollar, but this is configurable in INR also. So we can just calculate what is the overall saving by implementing these changes in our network. So this is again a key feature which we can implement in our AI. So this was all about our solution we have in AI and Ruckus One. So let's talk about uh, what all deployments we have done in India. So this example is from BITS Pilani, which is a premium institute we have. So here they are using our on-prem controller with software as a service, Ruckus Analytics on cloud. So we have integrated all their wired, which are from third party, and there is a third party AAA solution also, which is there in their network to securely onboard the client on the network. Their different blocks are connected on the Wi-Fi 6 AP to our wireless controller. So this is a huge campus, 320-acre campus with more than 14,000 students and 700 plus faculties which are working on this particular network. From many years, they are using this solution for indoor and outdoor wireless coverage. Then we have Symbiosis University, which is also a very large university. They are also using Ruckus Wireless in active-active configuration. Uh, in case any controller goes down, the other is already available. And we are using our AAA solution to securely onboard all the students on the network, whether it is faculty and students. So almost 75,000 users are working through our AAA solution in this particular campus. Then we have Parul University. They are also using Ruckus in active controller mode, and more than 30,000 users are using our AAA solution. So coming to the abroad case studies, Ministry of Education New Zealand, complete New Zealand primary schools are on uh, Ruckus solution. They have deployed our on-prem controller across 2 data centers for achieving the high availability. 40,000 access points are connected to these controllers, and largely these are Wi-Fi 6 APs. And apart from this Wi-Fi, it has 12,000 plus switches, and we are ensuring 99% uptime. Our AAA solution is also implemented here to connect all the students securely on the network. So this is an example from Singapore Learning Lab, which goes beyond your learning center. It is basically a tuition center. It is not necessarily you are working only from your campus. So what they are doing is they were having a challenge. They don't have the IT team to take care of the network. So we have provided Ruckus One as unified management platform with analytics and our AAA solution for their multiple location management and AAA solution. So one point I would like to mention here is when you are going for AI-based solution, if you are going for Ruckus One, which is a cloud-based solution, it is by default integrated. And if you are an existing customer of Ruckus and you are using on-prem controller, still you can integrate your solution with our Ruckus AI, which is a software as a service subscription. So coming to our last part of the session, These are the key takeaways I would like to highlight. Wi-Fi 7 is going to be a technology which will provide ultra fast communication for us to have 5 Gbps kind of throughput on wireless, where we can connect our 100 plus devices on this wireless network. It is really useful in high dense environment. With the introduction of 6 gigahertz spectrum, it will allow us to have no interference, next to no interference in the dense environment, and ensuring better performance in lecture halls or dormitories. So by having Ruckus One, you can have the centralized management and visibility about of your network, whether it is wired, wireless, or IoT. So everything can be managed and controlled from a central location. You can have different users, admin users for different locations. So that is also possible. And with the help of AI, it can reduce the IT task. We can reduce the number of trouble tickets. We can help you to improve the response time, to improve the connection for the wireless clients. So it is mostly about the improvement or experience of the improving the user's experience. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. If you have any questions, please. Okay. So these are the two questions I would like to ask here. Maybe you can just click the right answer, which you feel applicable to you. How would you describe your readiness to adopt AI network in your network? Maybe you are already using some other vendor AI tools, or you are under the process to buy or evaluate anyone, or maybe you don't have any budget or you do not have any plan to go after this. So please fill out this question.
Thank you, Rakesh, for your
Yeah,
insightful
thank you.
perspective.
Thank you.
And it was great the way you highlighted the opportunities, how the institutes can improve and take advantage of this new technology of Wi-Fi 7 and beyond. And I'm sure it gives a very detailed and way towards building a smarter, faster, and connected networks. And there were many valuable takeaways from the deck that you presented for all of us. There were numerous questions also, and I would
Okay.
really urge all the attendees to please participate in these polls, because this really helps us understand how institutes, the campuses of universities and colleges, how they are evolving, what are the areas where providers like Ruckus can actually help pitch and improve the network, and improve the overall experience of the students, of faculty, and even the admin system within your campus. So this would be really great and beneficial for you, while we understand your needs, your entire network infrastructure. And while we were able to see many hand raises also, I would really urge to drop in your questions using the Q&A section that is visible right there on your screen. And the experts from Ruckus Network would be happy to answer in their capacity and the limited time that we have. But before that, the poll result is out, and we can clearly see that half of you are ready to adopt AI driven management. And that's a really positive thing. And while almost 1/10 of you are already using AI driven tools, and another quarter of you are in the pilot phase, and this really gives us a clear picture, Rakesh, that institutes in India are definitely progressing towards adoption of technology to improve the overall experience within the campus.
Yeah, I'm just trying to answer a few questions.
Okay, I'll just pick a couple of them,
Yeah,
Rakesh, for you.
yeah, yeah.
So there were few which were related to security and the migration that we have already answered midway.
Mhm.
But apart from that, there's also that, how can universities balance the high density performance needs with the security of sensitive student and research data?
Yeah, by implementing WPA3, we can take care of the security requirement. Because of the limited time, we have not uh, explained the AAA solution which we have. So to improve the security, we can provide the secure onboarding of the users. It can be your wired or wireless user. So where we can use EAP TLS, which is a certificate-based authentication we can do. So instead of using the password, username and password, we can just download a digital certificate on the client machine. So we can just
Okay.
make sure by having the certificate base, there is no need to have the username password, which can be shared with multiple users. So we can reduce some those kind of security risk in our education network, which is very common we see in the live networks.
Okay. And in continuation to this, Rakesh, we have a couple of more questions. So one is that, how can intent-driven networking proactively detect and self-heal failures in a smart campus environment to ensure that everything continues in terms of learning and operational resilience, specifically without human intervention?
Yeah, so right now, actually, we all know AI is improving. So we are not at a very matured state, but yes, we are on the path to improve. So the feature I just discussed, like radio resource management. Before this, we can just change the channel number so that your connection to the wireless network is stable. But now with the improvement in AI, we can just make sure that these all changes can be done automatically by the AI. Before this, there was a need for an administrator to make those changes, but now you can define you want to improve your network for better coverage or for better data rate. So you have to just say, I want to improve my network or configure my network for better data rate. So AI will automatically configure your network for improving the data rate. So those kind of features you can expect AI to help you on this, or maybe reducing the co-channel interference. So that is available.
Okay. And I believe Ruckus do have a analytic solution also for this.
Yeah, we have that.
Okay.
So
And just to dig in on this further, so how does it actually help the IT team proactively manage this downtime or congestion?
yeah, so as I mentioned, it will automatically categorize all your incident into P1, P2 categories. So P3, P4 are kind of warnings. So in case of P1, P2, it will be categorized based on the impact they have on your network. Suppose there is a one client which is not able to connect on your network, so it will not shown as P1 or P2. It will be shown as P3. So if there is a uh, network or a particular area where 20 users are not able to connect, so that will be highlighted as one of the major tickets. So by having those in hand information, you can just pay attention to that and you can just reduce the number of issues very quickly.
Okay. Thank you, Rakesh. And I see we are running short of time. We are almost
Yeah,
an hour over. So thank you, everyone. Rakesh, to you for sharing this
yeah, thank you very
insightful
much.
session and for these valuable insights, and also to our audience in sharing such engaging questions from your side. And I see there are still many questions, and I can assure you that Ruckus team will be in touch with you, giving response on all of your questions. You can definitely, in case you want a much more detailed discussion with the team from Ruckus Networks, drop us a note and on the email ID, and we can definitely get back to you sharing, or you can just drop a note in Q&A section that that you would like to have a conversation, and the team will get back to you. And I think the way everyone has participated in today's webinar, this has become really insightful and meaningful, and it had been great. The kind of proactive questions, technical questions that you've come up with, the team has been able to answer quite a few, but we'll definitely answer the rest. And before we sign off, please take a moment to fill out the feedback form that would be popping up on your screen as you log out. And this is really important for us because it will help us understand that what resonated with you today and how we can make these sessions in the future more impactful, more helpful, and more insightful for you. So that feedback form really helps us delve deep and further improvise our interaction with all of you so that it's beneficial at your end when you are investing all this time with us during this live webinar. So thank you once again for everyone for being with us today. Stay safe, be connected, be smarter. That's all for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending such session today. Thanks.